right. Welcome to DCT.
Episode 48. A very special episode indeed. Because
It's the Super Bowl.
this is our Super Bowl special, guys. Oh my god. We have a jam-packed episode full of a bunch of Super Bowl fun things.
Except, where are we going tonight, Keenan?
Well, in a few measly hours when you guys are watching this, we will be at a Wizards game. And they're playing the Knicks. You know, everybody hates the Knicks. No, I mean, they're kind of cool, I guess, but, you know, we don't have, like, two of our best players playing. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But I'm just going there to get fucked up. So we're going there for business reasons. Yes, networking with the guys that sell me glizzies.
I'm gonna go tell the Wizards that I'm part of the press, and I will get into the locker room.
We will be plastered by the time we show up, so
maybe
I don't think they'll let us in the media room unless
you don't know that
we have our AJ Johnson hats on. In which case, they probably still won't let us in. But we'll look cool while getting kicked out.
That's true. We would.
So, you know, we got a little game, you know, coming up this weekend.
Just a small one.
Just a tad.
In the NFL world.
Yeah, you know, the little Seahawks versus the little Patriots action. One of my least exciting Super Bowls I'm going to watch probably.
It's just one of those games where I really wanted just the opposite teams in the championship game to actually be playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a rematch, which is kind of cool. But, you know, some new coaches from the rematch. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole new team for both of them.
Yeah, so.
You got McDonald, you got Vrabel, you got Darnold, you got May. It's one goat to the next with Brady and May.
Yeah, you got May I dig in yo booty twin. Like, I know you've seen that graphic. I know you know what I'm talking about. Speaking of the Super Bowl,
oh my god,
we wanted to first talk about some of our favorite and least favorite Super Bowl experiences. So, like, you know, we've seen a fair amount of Super Bowls in our lifetime, at least since, you know, 2000. If we start, you know, dipping into the 90s, we're getting into a little bit of like our older friends, you know, some of the elders. But for us, I want to know, Ben, what your best and worst Super Bowl is that you've seen with your own two eyes.
Best? I'm actually going to go with the very first Super Bowl I ever watched.
Ooh.
It's Super Bowl 42, I believe it was. Giants versus Patriots. You know, Patriots going to that game 17-0. You had Brady, you had Maroney at running back, Wes Welker and Randy Moss at wide receiver.
That's just a titan of a team right there.
Dude, 16-0 going into that game. They had the chance to be the first 17-0 juggernaut of a team. And they ran into the New York Giants.
Ran into Eli Manning.
Ran into the 10-6 New York Giants with Eli Manning at quarterback. You had Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw at running back. You had Plaxico Burress and David Tyree at wide receiver. Just an absolute, like, mediocre playoff team.
Just a mid lineup. I mean, that's all you need, apparently.
I mean, the Patriots went up 14-10 in that game with just under 3 minutes left. And, dude, my dad, who's a Giants fan, yikes. Him and I were watching that in our living room downstairs, and he was beside himself when the Patriots scored. And then David Tyree happened, and the rest is history. So
that's a pretty good one, especially for that being like your first Super Bowl.
Yeah,
supporting it with your dad is something special, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'm never gonna root for the Patriots.
Well, don't say never.
What about you? What would you say was your best / favorite Super Bowl to watch?
So for my best, the one that I've seen with my own eyes, I have to go with the 28-3 comeback by Sir Thomas Brady. Like, I mean, that game was just insanity. I remember going to school the next day, and my boy PJ, shout out PJ, huge Falcons fan.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude.
Falcons fans exist?
Yeah, apparently, like, up where we are, they still exist. And I was like, dude, no way, right? Like, there's no way this happened. And I think it took probably, like, a good month for people to stop ragging on him for, like it was his fault, right? But, like, I mean, that game is just insane. I mean, that game is, like, solidifying, like, that man as the GOAT. Like, no one has made a comeback like that before in the Super Bowl in the second half. Like, that is, like, what it means to be a clutch quarterback. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he had all the weapons he needed around him, and the Falcons just fell apart. Yeah. So, I mean, that was, like, watching that many points be scored in, like, such a quick fashion. It looked like they just flipped a switch and immediately became 10 times better than the Falcons did.
Yeah.
So, that was, like, one of the more dominant one-half performances I've seen in a Super Bowl, and that was definitely one of the craziest ones to watch.
Yeah.
Your worst. What was your worst Super Bowl to watch?
100%. The Super Bowl 53, which was Rams versus Patriots. I believe it was 2019, early 2019. This game was just so bad. I remember I was watching it with our buddies, Ham, Murphy, and Ferg. Mm-hmm. All four of us sitting in the living room at Ferg's house. And, I mean, everyone at that point also thought it should have been Saints versus Chiefs. But you had that egregious Rams versus Saints OPI no call.
I mean, everybody
or
knows,
DPI no call.
Everybody knows what that is.
And then Chiefs Patriots in that game had that, penalty flag thrown in the last minute, which would have basically made the Patriots lose, but was somehow called back.
Sure.
Shocker.
Sure. It's not rigged.
But, I mean, this game just, it had nothing going for it, man. I mean, there were no great offensive players except for Julian Edelman. He had, I think, 10 catches for like 141 yards. And other than that, Brady, subpar. He had 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. Jared Goff, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. I think both of them had about 240 yards. And the defenses were doing their thing. But, I mean, the halftime score was 3-0.
Yeah.
You had Sonny Michel score the only touchdown of the game with 7 minutes left. And at that point, you were like, all right, now that's really just put them in the dirt.
Yeah,
so,
for real. I mean, like, in a game like that, I think there's some people out there that seek after those, like, real, like, tough defensive battles.
Yeah.
But, like, to only get so little points out of a Super Bowl, like, it's kind of insane. Makes it pretty boring.
Like, this is the last game you're going to watch of real football for, like, another 7 months. Mm-hmm. And that's
what we're showing for it?
That's what we're showing for it? Yeah. What about you? Worst Super Bowl in your eyes?
It definitely had to have been the last Patriots-Seahawks Super Bowl. Like...
Really?
Yeah. So, like, for me, watching that Super Bowl, like, you just gotta run it. Like, I don't understand what was going through their minds on the last play. Apparently, there's been reports saying that it was... They left it up to Russ to call the last play.
Didn't he audible or something?
Yeah, he, like, audibled on the line. He saw something. Apparently... didn't see Malcolm Butler, and, the rest is history. I don't know why the hell you throw that ball, but, I mean, people have been beating this dead horse forever, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but that was, like, the biggest disappointment I've ever seen in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would have ran that thing 4 times with Marshawn.
Yeah, like, the fact that you have beast mode back there, and you only need 2 yards.
Yeah.
And, you're throwing a slant. Like, are we serious? Whatever. It was a terrible way to end a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I didn't like watching it at all. Yeah. So that was definitely one of my least favorite ones.
It's tough, too, for both of us to rank, like, best and worst Super Bowls because also, like, in my eyes, I thought the Patriots-Eagles Super Bowl, like, that was a great game.
Yeah.
Like, it went down to the wire. You had turnovers. You had Nick Foles catching a ball in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
You had everything you wanted. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to be happy when the Philadelphia Eagles win a Super Bowl. So I can't put that in my top.
But you know, shout out. Honorable mention.
Honorable mention, yeah.
And that's where the Eagles Super Bowl will stay, as honorable mentions.
I wish it would not have happened. But then again.
Now, we have a little treat.
A more interesting game.
So, what Ben and I have decided to do is we are going to have a fantasy draft battle with only Super Bowl players. So players that have played in a Super Bowl since 2000. We kind of agreed that like 2000 was like, whatever, don't get mad. Nobody say Steve Young was the best to ever do it. I don't care. It's past 2000.
I'm aware Marcus Allen had an amazing game back in whatever decade he played in.
1979 or whatever it was. But for now, past 2000, Super Bowl draft battle. We're going to do a snake style. And I don't know. Ben, do you want to go first or would you like me to go first? We have to call out the year of the Super Bowl and the player.
I will go first.
You will go first?
I will go first.
All right, go ahead.
Let me get my board out.
Oh, yeah, let me get my board out, too. Here's your marker, sir.
Thank you. Do you want me to just keep track of both our teams, or do you want to... Oh, my bad.
I got my board. Don't worry.
I know. You wrote on my board, too, which is kind of messed up, but we'll talk about it later. All right.
Anyways, who's your first pick?
We're going snake, correct?
Yes.
So I'll take a first pick, and then you do the next two?
Yes.
Okay. With my first pick, I'm going to go James White in Super Bowl 51, Atlanta, New England one.
I mean, that's like, if you're looking at the stats like we did for 2 hours, like, this is like the number one overall pick.
The reason why we're recording this at 2 a.m., everybody, is because we just sat in my basement looking up these draft years for specific players that have nothing to do with us. But, dude, I just really wanted to shout out this performance, James White. He had 6 rushes for 29 yards. From a running back, it's hilarious that he only had 6 rushes. But on those 6 rushes, he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yep.
And he had 14 catches for 110 yards and a receiving touchdown. And he had a 2-point conversion. So, chop that all up to 47.9 fantasy points.
It's a good 101. The undoubted 101. For my first of my 2 picks, thank you, sir, I am going to take Super Bowl 57 Jalen Hurts.
Yep, that's the correct answer.
So, I mean, dude had a masterful game back when Jalen Hurts was actually a quarterback.
Yeah.
And he racked up a whopping 41.2 fantasy points. So that is going to be my 102.
Okay.
Mr. Jalen. I hate writing your name on here, but, you know, you had a good game. I will give you that. And that was a 41.2. All right. Now for my second pick. Let's see. Who do I want here? I am going to go with Super Bowl 52 Rob Gronkowski. Damn. He had a nice little 32.6 points in that game.
I'm doing a stat check real quick.
Be my guest. I'll just go ahead and write it because I'm confident in my number remembering. Remember the struggle you had with trying to search those up, so just be careful.
Yep.
You getting stuck with code words?
No, honestly, I am... Never mind.
Just assumed we've stat checked all of these and they're correct.
We've stat checked all of them. I was stat checking my thing.
I wasn't
stat checking you.
Gotcha.
I hadn't written down my next person, like how many points exactly that they had.
Gotcha.
I wanted to do that. So you took Gronk and you took
Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I don't have to worry about quarterback. Okay. All right. I am going to get the running backs off the board. I'm going to go ahead and take Damian Williams from Super Bowl 54, I believe it was. The Niners-Chiefs Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He had 29.3 fantasy points. And that will eliminate your fantasy football running backs because I just slammed that category on you.
Well, that's what you think. But, yeah.
That's what I know. Unless you've somehow come up with these random running backs that did more than that.
Mm-hmm.
The wide receiver that I'm going to take, I feel like you're going to find this as a surprise, is actually going to be Xavier Worthy in last year's Super Bowl.
Not bad.
So Super Bowl 59, I believe it was. Xavier Worthy had 35.7 fantasy points.
Not too shabby.
Thank you. I try.
All right. So that means that with your wide receiver 2 still available, for my first pick, I am going to take Super Bowl 38's Deion Branch. Now, that was, I think it was 04 that Super Bowl was, and he had a nice little 30.3 points, which was pretty sick for Mr. Deion.
Pretty solid.
So, I will be taking him, Mr. Branch, at a 30.3. And then, for my second wide receiver, I am going to take Super Bowl 43's own Larry Fitzgerald, who had 31.7 points in the one Super Bowl he ever saw. It's so sad.
That's an elite wide receiver of all time right there.
Mm-hmm. He's one of the ones, man. All right,
you said his total was 31.6?
31.7.
Okay.
All right. Looks like you're up with your, wide receiver, quarterback, and tight end?
Yes. I am going to go ahead and... You've taken both your wide receivers, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I might as well just go ahead and take my last one as well. I'm actually going to go with Super Bowl 48, Demaryius Thomas.
Ooh,
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
He finished the day against the Eagles with 13 receptions for 118 yards and a touchdown, which gives him 30.8 points.
Nice.
And with my other pick, I am going to go Nick Foles.
Not bad.
In Super Bowl 52, I believe it was. And he finished that day, first of all, with a receiving touchdown, which brought him up to 33 fantasy points.
Not too shabby.
You like your last two picks?
Yeah. One of them I'm going to have to fact check because I didn't write down, like, an additional running back.
I'll do your fact check for you.
Are you sure?
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my first one I already have down, and it was Super Bowl 46's Frank Gore, who had a nice little 17, a light little 17.
Light little 17? Okay.
Mr. Gore. And then for the one that I need to check on, that would be Super Bowl 55's Joe Mixon. Which would be that Bengals-Rams.
He did not even come into my mind for that.
Yeah, which was, I believe, 13, I think.
I'm going to go ahead and... What was 13?
Like his fantasy points. I think it was around like 13.
13?
For Mr. Mixon in the Super Bowl. In Super Bowl... I don't think you got the year right, but
I'll give it to you.
Was it
16.5.
Was it 55 or 56? What was the freaking number for it?
That
was 54, wasn't it?
It was 55.
Oh, it was 55. Okay.
Yeah.
And gaslighting me over here already, bro.
I love gaslighting you.
All right. Do you have one more?
I do, yes.
You do have one
My
more.
tight end.
Ah, yes.
And I am actually going to go with Super Bowl 55 for that one. And it's going to be... I don't think I did that one correctly, actually. But we both messed up on that one.
The Super Bowl numbering is weird, man.
Dude, every time I look in and it's like XLIKIV, I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're saying right now.
Just put it in English.
I'm going to go with the Travis Kelce versus the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended that game with 24 fantasy points.
All right. You want to get out your calculator?
Let's get it out. I'm going to do your total first.
Of course you will.
On a freaking podcast, speaking with a expo marker in my mouth.
Yeah.
All right. Read out them totals.
41.2, 17, 16.5, 30.3, 31.7, 32.6.
You end the day with 169.3 fantasy points.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
Nice.
You got it?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Now give me your phone. All right. Give me yours.
He thinks I'm cheating, guys.
I always do.
Ready?
Yes.
33
Yup.
plus 47.9
Yup.
plus 29.3
Yup.
plus 35.7
Yup.
plus 30.8
Okay.
plus 24.
24. 200.7. Right on the dot.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we did this. It was a fun experiment, but I really do think that whoever got James White would have won.
Yeah. I think so too. But there's only like a hand-picked amount of performances that you can get.
Those
and
run-
like
those
the
running
ones before 2000 are like just insane numbers.
The running back ones were brutal, man. I did not
There
know.
was only like I think 7 or 8 running backs that had a performance over like 15 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Since 2000. So
Yep.
that one was brutal. But let's talk about something that was probably not as brutal. Well, for some.
First time.
And those are some legendary and infamous
Yes.
halftime performances. So we all know we're having Bad Bunny this year as our halftime show. And that got us thinking, what are some of the other like great or possibly terrible halftime shows
Yeah.
that we've seen, i.e., or that have happened?
Yeah.
So, Ben, out of all the Super Bowl's halftime shows you've seen, which one kind of stuck in your mind the most? Which one did you like the most?
I think the best Super Bowl halftime show, in my eyes at least, was Super Bowl 50.
Okay.
It was the Bruno Mars, Beyonce, Coldplay halftime show.
That one was, yeah.
I mean, that one was phenomenal. Coldplay playing Paradise, playing Vita La Vida in that massive stadium was great. You combine it with Beyonce doing her Formation, which was the Black Panther homage. And then you had Bruno Mars, that year doing Uptown Funk, doing his other songs.
Doing just Bruno Mars things.
Doing Bruno Mars things. And then you had, the dance-off between the Bruno Mars's dancers and Beyonce's, and then all of them just kind of getting together on stage at the end, singing Coldplay songs.
What happened to that creativity, man?
I thought it was awesome.
That's like peak Super Bowl halftime right there.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great pick.
Thank
Great
you.
pick.
What about you? What was your favorite?
My favorite halftime concert was definitely like the Eminem Kendrick halftime show.
I like that.
I'm bringing out everybody, Dre, Mary J, Snoop, that whole collection of 5 there. It was just great.
It was great.
I'm a big M and Kendrick fan.
Yeah.
I loved listening to Dr. Dre's old stuff, and who doesn't like Snoop Dogg? And Mary J's a saint.
Don't forget Mary J.
Yeah, she's a saint. So That was definitely one of the best ones that I watched. I was rocking with it the whole time. I'm pretty sure when I watched this Super Bowl, I was with my family.
Yeah.
And, like, nobody knew who any of these people were. And I was sitting there just, like, bar for bar, word for word, like, screaming at the TV. And my sister was kind of, like, nodding along. But my parents were like, oh, what's that? I don't know what's going on. And I was just like, it's okay. Now this looks like a good job for me. But, yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't know who Eminem was.
My dad knew who Eminem was.
Okay.
That was good enough for me. My mom wasn't really watching, but you know.
I get it.
Now we did come to an agreement on a worst one.
We did.
Because it's probably by far like the worst halftime performance, at least in like the last like 20 years.
Yes. And you know what's one that a lot of people rag on that I disagree with?
What?
A lot of people really did not like Justin Timberlake's performance.
Yeah, I did see a lot of like people saying that one was kind of mid.
I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was great.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was bad though. But
definitely not the worst.
You know what was bad? And I honestly think it does have to go along with what was happening during the game. It was the Travis Scott halftime performance.
Yeah.
Because that happened right in the middle of the Rams-Patriots game, which was nothing was happening. And then we got this game, or this halftime show happening in the middle of the game. You had Maroon 5, which put on a very subpar performance, which you would think of Maroon 5 bangers.
Yeah.
That they'd be able to sing at least a few and get the crowd going.
The crowd engagement was not there. They were lacking energy.
It was not there. And in order to save the entire thing, you had Travis Scott. You had fucking SpongeBob coming down on a rocket ship. For whatever reason, and Travis Scott emerged from the canal that was the rocket ship. I did not know what was going on there, and it was
just like a 2.5 minute acid trip.
I was like, what is going on? Like, I remember distinctly sitting in that living room being like, what is happening right now?
I am losing my mind.
I am losing my shit right now.
No, definitely, hands down, one of the, like, most questionable halftime shows.
Yeah.
And, like, the collection of people, too. Like, you can have sweet blends.
Yes.
Like Bruno Mars and Beyonce. That is a sweet blend of people right there.
Yeah.
And then you have somewhat polar opposites of, like, music and, like, background of Travis Scott and Maroon 5.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, you gotta have it blend better. You can't have two, like, completely polar opposite sides of music if you're trying to get a crowd going, especially at a Super Bowl. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You guys are getting paid millions to do this.
Yeah.
Like, let's lock in.
Hey.
Hopefully this one this year is going to be better.
I think it'll be good. I do hope that everybody is willing to put their political beliefs aside and just be able to watch the performance for what it is.
Yeah, I'm going to be shaking my little white ass. So I will be enjoying myself. I don't know what songs he'll do, but if Callejita's on there, man, I'm on it.
You're word for word, bar for bar.
Word for word, bar for bar, man. I'm not
like
proud
it.
of how I know it, but I know it now, so it's stuck.
I love it. All right, now, we've talked about everything surrounding the game. We've talked about past games. We've talked about past Super Bowl performances. We've talked about pretty much everything regarding the Super Bowl. Now, let's focus on this Super Bowl in particular.
Let's talk football.
Let's talk some freaking football.
Let's talk some ball, man. So we got Seattle Seahawks playing the New England Patriots. Wow. Ooh. Wow.
It's been quite the run to get here. I mean, you have the Patriots. Everybody all year was talking about who was going to be the team that beat the Patriots in the playoffs because they played a cupcake schedule all year. They played one team that was above 500 the entire regular season, and that was Buffalo. And obviously Denver knocked them out. And then after that game, we find out that Bo Nix out for the rest of the season. It's going to be Jarrett Stidham playing in that game. It was a letdown for all of us.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, you got the Seahawks, who coming into the season, everyone was like, they got a lot of questions around them. You know, they had just traded DK Metcalf. You got Sam Darnold coming in. You're not sure if he's going to play well.
They fired their head coach.
They did not fire their head coach.
Year before.
Year before they did. But you had a lot of questions around the team, a lot of questions surrounding the defense, whether their draft picks were going to pan out, whether certain players like Byron Murphy would be able to develop into the player that he is today.
Mm-hmm.
And, they kept it going throughout the season. They were in third place, I believe, in the NFC West for a little while. Then they moved up into second. Then they were in first, and they just maintained that place for the rest of the season. And they ended the season first seed. First round of their playoffs, they dismantled the 49ers. And then in the next game, they beat the Rams in a relatively close game.
Yeah.
But they really have just been proving everybody wrong all year, and it is 100% backpacked on that defense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, going into this game, Seattle is the favorite. 1,000,000% for, everybody who's watching this game. Pretty much, Seattle has looked like the better team all year. So, Seattle should win this game.
They should.
They should have no problem closing this game out. And, if... I understand that, the Patriots-Broncos game was, a defensive battle and, sure. But Seattle doesn't really give a shit because they'll put 40 on anybody.
Yeah.
So we've seen that 3 times this year where they've put 40 on a team. So I expect this game to be a little bit on the lower scoring side, not exactly 40, but it'll be entertaining to watch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, will New England be able to silence the hate? Obviously you've been saying, they've had this chip on their shoulder all year of excuse after excuse of how they're winning and why they're winning. And now it's time to put your money where your mouth is. This is your one shot. This is the Super Bowl. This is the best team from the NFC coming to play you guys, regardless of if you guys think you're the best team in the AFC or not. Now you're facing Seattle.
Yeah.
So for Drake May, Mr. Vrabel, and for the entire Patriots team, this is their chance to shut up all of their haters and play a good game. Now, I think they can even get past the point of proving the haters wrong, even if they lose, as long as they do not get blown out. If they get blown out, they will never hear the end of this.
Yeah.
For at least another season.
I agree.
And the last thing that I have about this matchup is Sam Darnold. Now, I've had a lot of questions about Sam Darnold this year, and I've had a lot of reservations about him. Sam Darnold has been such a hot and cold quarterback this year when it comes to turnovers.
Yeah.
And we have not seen a game in the playoffs yet with Sam Darnold and him turning the ball over, which has been great for Sam Darnold. He's been playing spectacular when he's not turning the ball over. But he hasn't had that game yet in the playoffs where he's had those turnovers. I'm pretty sure... I don't think he's had a pick yet in the playoffs.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think.
They've only played 2 games.
Yeah, but I don't think he's thrown one, which is crazy for Sam Darnold. Looking at his regular season stats, he had 2 games where he's thrown 4 picks in the regular season.
2 games where against the Rams, who they played in the NFC Championship, 6 picks in 2 games.
Yeah,
and then in this championship, he threw 0.
Yeah, and in the playoff run, he's had no forced turnovers against him, and he's had no interceptions.
Yeah.
So he's playing phenomenal football. Now I'm waiting. I'm not hoping, but I'm waiting for the old Sam Darnold to show up, and this will be what this game hinges on, because it's not going to be. Well, it kind of sounds pessimistic to say, but. It's not going to be whether Drake May is going to go out there and win this game. It's going to be whether Sam Darnold goes out there and loses this game.
I don't know, man. I've kind of reached the point where I've stopped doubting him. And
well, you're not a big Sam Darnold guy.
I'm really not. It's odd because it's one of those things where, you see Sam Darnold. He's a guy that was seeing ghosts in New York, playing against the Patriots. Then he goes to Carolina. Then he goes to backup Brock Purdy in San Francisco. Then he goes and gets a shot in Minnesota, crushes it, collapses at the end of the year. But I think some of that was due to his team, and some of it was due to him, obviously. Then he gets a new chance, a new start in Seattle, and he's crushing it. He has a great story, but I just can't get behind it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like him being from USC or him. I don't know what it is exactly. But for me, at least, I just can't.
You and USC guys, man. What's going on with you?
I don't like USC. But I will say, I think one matchup that's going to be my favorite to watch during the Super Bowl. Do you know what it is?
No.
It's going to be the league leader in reception yards and first team All-Pro JSN versus Pro Bowler and forcing 11 pass breakups in 14 game Christian Gonzalez.
Gonzo.
Should be Washington Commander Christian Gonzalez.
But we will stop beating that dead horse.
JSN versus Christian Gonzalez is going to be massive in this game, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely going to be, like, a key factor into the entirety of Seattle's offense.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have Charbonnet, so they can't lean on the run game as much. K9's been great when they've been using him in volume, but you're going to Darnold's going to have to use his receivers.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's all going to depend on how the Patriots defense plays, in my mind. Because I think the Seahawks defense is going to do what it's been doing all season. It's going to limit Drake May. It's going to limit what he can do. The Pats have faced 3 elite defenses so far in the Chargers, in Houston, and then in Denver. And Drake hasn't been great. I mean, under pressure, his EPA per pass play would actually rank the lowest for a quarterback this season if it was projected over a whole season. But he had the benefit of playing playoff Herbert. He had the benefit of playing C.J. Stroud, who threw 4 picks in the first half of that game. And then he had the benefit of playing Jarrett Stidham in a game where no one could complete a pass to save their life. I mean, he won that game throwing 87 yards.
Yeah. And almost lost that game.
To
Jarrett Stidham. So,
if only they could make field goals.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Seattle's defense is going to do what it does. It's got 5 players who have 40 pressures each. It has the best run defense statistically in the NFL. It's all going to depend on that Patriot defense. When Darnold is pressured, he is 28th in EPA per pass play. When he's not pressured, he's 3rd in the league. So it's a different player. If they're aggressive, it's going to lead to more man coverage, which JSN has kind of been feeding on this whole season. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see if they can really just force feed JSN to win this game, if that's going to be what they need to do. Mm-hmm. But I think Seattle's going to limit the Patriots' run game. They're going to really just push everything on Drake, see if he can do it. And at the end of the day, I mean, man, it's the Super Bowl in your second season. It's going to be really tough to overcome that.
Yeah. Another matchup I'm going to like to see is the special teams play out of both of these teams. Yeah. I mean, both teams have had special teams touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
So, very electric special teams.
Rashid Shaheed versus Travion Henderson.
Rashid Shaheed versus Antonio Gibson.
All right. He's sitting at home with a torn ACL right now.
Well, maybe he would be there with his, team if they were playing in a Super Bowl, but if he wants to be a little loser and stay at home, imagine you've been in a poverty franchise since you got drafted, and then as soon as the team you go to goes to a Super Bowl, you're going to let a torn ACL keep you on the couch and not even go and support with your boys. Like,
he loves Antonio Gibson, by the way, guys.
I fucking hate Antonio Gibson. Anyways, I mean, I would love to see special teams touchdowns. Yeah. That would just make the game a whole lot more exciting. I feel like I haven't seen really any of that except for the one Rashid Shaheed touchdown against the Niners.
Yeah.
And that was the first play of the game.
That game felt over from the start, and it was just because of that.
It felt over when George Kittle died the week before. That was like, okay, now it seems like they're just going to have to put everything on C-Mac and see how well that goes. And we obviously saw 41-6. It did not go very well. No. So, Ben, who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
I do have the Seahawks winning. I think that it's just going to be too much for... I mean, the Patriots are a great story. Vrabel, first-time coach with them, awesome story. Drake May, second year. That offense coming together throughout the year, the defense finally coming on in the playoffs, but I just think it's going to be too much for them. That Seattle offense combined with that Mike McDonald defense is just going to overwhelm them, and I think in the end it's going to lead to Seattle kind of dominating the game.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle is like a pretty obvious choice for this game, at least for like most people, but not for me, because
don't say it.
I think
don't fucking
that
say it.
this is the game that Sam Darnold breaks.
You're a sicko, dude.
I think this is the game where Sam Darnold, he's had 3 really good games in a row, and Sam Darnold doesn't do that.
This guy wants to say that I'm not a Sam Darnold fan, and he's been rooting against him this entire playoff run.
Exactly. And he's been proving me wrong every single time. And this is the last game. And so this is his last chance to prove me right, that you're a turnover machine, and that you're benefiting off of a great wide receiver.
Dude, you're like Max Kellerman with the Tom Brady cliff theory. You just keep going, hoping that one year it'll finally come true.
Yeah, well, this will be one game in a 4-week span. So
This is true.
I think that he may have all the turnovers that he needs compiled into one Super Bowl mess. And honestly, I think both teams tie, and they say that the NFL is rigged, and they give it to the Chiefs anyway. So that's my, miracle ending. They'll give the MVP to Jaden Daniels. He'll come out of the tunnel. He'll be like, "Thanks, everybody."
Honestly, when people this week have been asking me, "Who do you want to win the Super Bowl?" Honestly, in my head, I'm like, honestly, I just hope this stadium implodes. But if that can't happen,
I'd hope Jaden Daniels wins it. Like, I hope my Commanders get there at some point.
Give it to Bobby Wagner. Honorary Seahawks.
Honorary Seahawk.
But yeah, I think that's all we have for you guys. Thank you for listening to our Super Bowl themed episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And, starting next week, we have no football.
Yeah, so we will be getting into the nitty-gritty. We have some things that we've already been planning.
I might be clinically depressed for the rest of the year, honestly.
We got some stuff for y'all that we're talking about right now, figuring out how we're going to manage the off-season with content. And so we got some things coming. So,
it's in the works. It's
in the works. So I'm excited for you guys to see it. I'm really excited about one of the things, but we'll get to that next week.
Yeah.
But for now, you guys enjoy watching this shit bowl, and we'll see you next week.
The toilet bowl. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Bring back the puppy bowl.